Welcome to Good Cam Hunting. I'm back out at the range again today. Something's been bothering me for the last week and I just can't shake it. I've got to say, I'm actually really disappointed in myself. I can honestly say, guys, this is not the rounds, this is me. That's easy a 2-inch group. So I'm back out again this afternoon to see if I can improve on that grouping, see if I can get a bit tighter. I'm hoping for not quite under half an inch, anything under an inch and I'll be happy personally. A couple of differences between me sighting my rifle in and when I made my first vlog the other week. With the bipod, I had the legs hyperextended, so they were all the way out to 13 inches. When I sighted my rifle in, I only had them as they are now at 9 inches. I also found my stand, my tripod for my camera, so as you can see, gonna be able to film a bit better today. Got a lot more stability. It's gonna make Wicked's job a lot easier. Actually, funny story, I actually walked out of the house without Wicked today, so I bet he's at home pissed at me right now. Oh well, there'll be plenty more times for him to get out and hold the camera for me. Alright guys, I'm gonna get straight into it. I'm gonna start out with the Varmint rounds and just move straight into the Blitzking rounds, and we'll go check it out, see if I've improved. Alright, let's go check it out. So with making those few changes, I was definitely able to get the rifle a lot steadier. I think if I had a sandbag, I think I could, get it dead still. This time I was using a jumper, and I was also resting on my Winchester rifle bag, which I picked up from the SHOT Show last year in Sydney for 15 bucks. So if you're going to the SHOT Show in Melbourne this weekend, keep an eye out for those. I saw a guy walk out with about 50 of those bags. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. I only walked out with 2. The results are in. This is the target. The top 2 are last week's groupings and bottom 2 are this week's groupings. So bottom left, I've got the Varmint rounds. Definitely an improvement on my part. Now, I'm gonna kick myself. I forgot to bring a digital vernier, caliper, whatever you want to call them, out with me. I even forgot to bring my tape this time. But I've heard that from the tip of your thumb to your thumb knuckle is an inch. So, bit of terrible measuring on my part. I'm gonna say it's just over an inch. If we compare it to the ballistic rounds from last week, yeah, that was about 27 mil. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that that's probably just over an inch. Now, I'm really happy with myself here. I believe I've put, with the Blitzking rounds, 55 grain OSA Blitzking round, I believe I've put a hole through a hole here. I mean, I've looked at the target. There's definitely no other holes that have from any stray flying bullets. That there is a 3-shot grouping and it's gotta be half an inch. I'll have to check that when I get home and I'll be sure to post it in the description on the video. I'm running out of daylight, but what I do have is a fresh target right here. And I've always been curious to see how I group at about 200 yards. So bear with me. I'm gonna step this out to another 100 yards, and I'm really interested to see how I go. So, hell, let's do it. All right, guys, that's about as close as I can zoom in to the target before it goes out of focus. But just so you get an idea as to how far away from it we are. Yeah, it's probably not quite on 200 yards. It's probably more like 150. But you know what, I'm still curious to see how I go. So I'm gonna leave the camera on the target. I'll shoot the gong first just to see that we're on, and I'll go from there. Just make sure we're on target. Yeah, we're on target. I hope you guys can see that swinging. I can. That gong that I'm shooting at, it's the same one I was shooting at last week when I was trying to hit it at 546 yards, I think it was. This particular gong I'm using, it's just a standard 12mm plate. Now, there's a reason why we don't shoot at standard 12mm plate, and I'm going to show you in a minute. There's a very good reason why we shoot at AR 500 plate and Bisalloy 500 plate. Now Bisalloy and AR, they're just brand names. The 500 refers to the grade of steel, with the quenching process. It refers to the temperature that the steel is heated to and then cooled, and the cooling process, and that's what gives the steel its strength. It's used in digger buckets, a lot of military grade vehicles, armored vehicles, and again, depending on the grade, it goes from, I know with Bisalloy goes from Bisalloy 100 right through to Bisalloy 600, and it's all, you know, it's all rated ballistic resistant, but obviously the higher you go, the better it's going to be when it comes to shooting with larger calibers. Alright, here's the target again. And guys, I've got to say, I am blown away with my results today. I'm just going to take a quick look around the target just to make sure there's no stray rounds, because when I come back to the center, there we go. That's got to be either close to or just over or under an inch at about 150 yards. So if I just thumb again, like I said, tip to knuckle is about an inch. That's got to be under an inch. I'm definitely going to have to check that and get back to you. This is why we don't shoot at just standard steel plate. Remember how I said I'm a steel fabricator? This is something I was able to knock up at work. Well, cut out at work. We have a CNC plasma at work, and I was able to borrow a bit of 12mm plate. It worked out well for all of us, and I work for my father-in-law, so he can take it out shooting when he wants to. But today, from what I can see here, maybe even that one. These, oh no, sorry, I shot 5. From what I can see today, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, those 5 rounds are with my 223. And you can see very clearly why we don't use standard 12mm plate. These holes here, these were also from a 223. And all these little nipples here, they're from a 308. Obviously we're shooting it at the other side of the gong. I'll show you. So that's what a 308 does to standard 12mm plate. So you can imagine what a 300 Win mag would do to it. It would just pump a hole straight through it. That there is 2 308 rounds through the same hole, and I'm fairly certain there was a 223 hit it on the other side as well. So that's why there is a hole in that plate there. But Prime example right here why we don't shoot standard 12mm plate. Use Bisalloy AR, you'll get a much better lifespan out of your gong. Thanks for coming out with me again today, guys. I hope you're enjoying watching my vlogs. I'm enjoying filming them, and I can guarantee you there'll be more to come. In case it wasn't half obvious, my name's Cam, and you're watching Good Cam Hunting. See you again soon. So just bear with me again, guys. I just want to have a bit of fun. I'm going to shoot this gong. Yeah. Again. And again. Ooh, and again. A few sparks on that last one.